So today I just wanted to go through a few movements that you can use with your birthing ball. So a lot of people get birthing balls and then don't really know what to do with it other than sit and bounce. But it's really nice for lots of things. So I've already shown you workouts you can do with the birthing ball. I've also shown you baby positioning exercises you can do with the birthing ball. And you can also use it for sitting well, basically. So a lot of back problems and baby positioning problems can come from the way you sit. So the hip flexors tend to get tight from sitting, and if you're in a seat where your knees are higher than your hips, then they're going to get tighter still, and it's also going to tuck your pelvis under, and that can sort of alter the way baby lies. So sitting on a birthing ball automatically puts you in a decent position, so it's very hard to sort of slump on a birthing ball without sliding away on it. So as long as you have one that is pumped up enough or is big enough, so you need to make sure that your hips are higher than your knees. So ideally I think I'd like this a little bit bigger even. I'm about level with my knees, whereas I'd rather be a little bit higher here. So that's where you want to make sure you have a ball that's big enough for that your hips are higher. You can have a little give. This one's maybe a bit too squishy as well, so if it was pumped up to the right amount, then it'd probably be high enough for me. So you want a little bit of give. You don't want it so tight that you're falling off it, so you want a little bit of give on it. And then it should make you sit right up on your sit bones, and then because it would take it into your back too much to lean anyway, then you tend to have your posture nice and upright on it. So it's a really good option to use just for sitting on day to day. So if you start to get backache, then it's a good place to go to. And whilst you're sitting on it, you can also loosen up the back and the hips while you're at it. So that's what I wanted to show you today, just a few movements that you can do whilst you're on the ball. So you don't have to just sit on it, you can actually move. So nicest way I like really actually is side to side. So just letting your hips move from side to side. So all of this can be done in standing as well. You don't need a ball to do it. It's just that the ball, if you want to sit and relax, then it's quite handy, and it's nice to just be able to move whilst you're on it instead of just sitting. From there you can go into circles, and these are also really nice as well. Oh, it is still going to creak. I thought I'd worked out a way to stop it from creaking. I think it's because I'm off the mat slightly. So I'll just come forwards. So circling through, and if you're doing circles, make sure you go both directions. So you don't want to always go to one side. I can't do anything about that noise. It's definitely not me. And then the other thing, let me just turn this around so it makes any difference. As well as circles, you can actually do figure of eights, which is quite nice to go in that infinity sign. Ooh, I went off it then. And change direction. I have also heard people saying about doing something like this during labour, where your brain has to switch on to help you to think about what movement you're doing, and that will help you to take your mind off contractions. So you could also sort of spell your name out with your hips, whether it's on the ball or just freestanding, so it just takes your mind away. And all these exercises that I'm doing now today are nice for sitting and easing out your back and hips. It's also nice during the first stage of labour, so anytime you're having contractions, moving your hips is going to help. So we've got figures of eight. You can also do that forwards and back as well, so coming forwards and back in that spiral, and then you can reverse that as well. So this is, I think it's a bit easier than the other way, but it's still nice. Lovely. And then another one that's really nice for your back actually is to tilt on the ball. So you're sat upright, and then you're just going to tuck your tailbone under so that you can feel that stretch into your lower back. So you're upright, your heels are underneath your knees, and then you just tilt through and then sit up. So it's not a big movement, and it's not an upper body movement. So it's just my bum tucking under, aiming for that sacrum and tailbone, feeling that they tuck under and are going to come out between your knees. And that gives you that little curl into your lower back, which can give it a little bit of a stretch, but you're not going too far. So sometimes when you're sat upright doing this, you tend to lean back a little bit more. But if you leant back here, again, you'd feel more unstable. So doing it on the ball is quite nice. A little stretch into that low back. So all those hip movements you can do in seated, but that's not just the only positioning you can do. So the ball is also quite nice on a chair. And then you can stay up in a high kneeling position. So you would just rest your upper body on the ball, and then you can let your hips do those sways or circles or whatever feels nice. So you can relax out of your upper body fully in that position, and you can also do it in all fours kneeling. So that's high kneeling, depends on what chair you're using. And then this one in a lower position, head's relaxed on the ball, and again then your bum is free to do circles, to do the sway side to side. You can also get a nice thoracic stretch here as well if you roll the ball away, so that's quite nice to get a stretch into that upper back as well as the lower back. So there we go. A fit ball or a birthing ball is not just about bouncing up and down on, so hopefully there's a few bits and pieces there that you'll find useful and can help you with any back pain or hip issues that you're having at the minute.